Hello everyone, this is Ming Zhong. Welcome to today's market analysis for the S&P 500 E-mini futures. So in this video, I am going to show you a market recap from the last session that's on a Friday, including trade review in M3, and I will cover exits, entry, and the rationale behind. That's relying on a spring setup just 9 minutes after the US opening. And going forward, I will talk about the buyers, key levels to pay attention to, and most importantly is the trading or potential trade setup for the later session. So let's just get started here. As you can see on this daily chart, so on the Friday we have a pretty flat day. I think it's just it's just flat, but you can see that on a Thursday, I talk about it's a potential spring, and we just need to confirm it via the Friday section. Friday section seems like a test of the spring here. So let me just zoom into H1 so that you can get a clearer picture. So you can see that on a H1 time frame, we have a test of this last hour bar, which I mentioned it on a Friday's video regarding the potential setup. I talk about the level of 2830 to 2820, and that's coincide with this last hour bar form. So if you look closely, I draw the line there. You can see that the price interact with the line here, which is corresponds to the last hour bar, which seems to be a very effective way to look at it. A test of the last hour bar, and you can see that just right after the opening night, and it had a spring. Look at the shadow, and it just have a good rally up, and followed by the test, and eventually just go all the way up to recover most of the losses during the London session. So let me just get into M3 for the trade review. Okay, let me get back to on Friday session. So you can see that just prior to the opening, we have a sell-off at the London session. Pretty big sell-off all the way from 2850 to about 2815, which is one of the key levels that I pay attention to. And I think that coincides with the last hour bar that I mark up in the H1 time frame as well. But you can see that just right before, or well, not right before, just about 2 hours before the US opening, we have a change of character that actually stopped this down move, and subsequently forming a down sloping range. And just right at the opening, that's on the 930, yep, that's 933. Yeah, on 933, you can see that the big bearish bar, big spread bearish bar, go all the way and dip below the localized low here, and just a little bit, and it just close within the low. And look at the spread. This is a pretty big spread, I would say, and also the volume is relatively large as well. But if you just look at the spread, you can realize, or you can just relate to, this is a pretty bearish bar. So if I think that this is a redistribution out of the prior bear trend, we have a consolidation. So if this is a redistribution and we are ready to break down further, then just right after this bar, then I will assume that I should see some follow through to break down to the downside. Or if it does have a rally, then the rally should be pretty weak. But look at what happened next. So this is the bar just next to this big spread bearish bar, and we have a reversal bar. Is a big spread bullish bar. So it just went back up from the low and closed pretty much near the high end of the previous bar. So I would just call it a reversal bar. And so the whole context is like, so we have a down sloping trading range, and this bar here is a localized spring of the previous or localized low here, and followed by a reversal bar up. So my bias was definitely up, so I just initiated a long entry right after the close of this bar. Well, I think the only downside of the trade is the reward to risk is not that great because of my stop. I set it just right below the bar here, the close of the bar here. So you can see that the stop loss was somewhere, I think 2807. So I actually just trailed the stop, and until somewhere around there you can see that we have a reaction turn down and actually just stop me out. So this is around just 1R or 1.1R. And the second trade that I initiated was just right after the reaction of the test of this level to a 1.5, and followed by a reversal as I highlighted in a circle here. I just initiated a long entry with a stop loss just below the low, the swing low, and the exit is just a limit kind of the exit. I put it right at the high of this bar. So why this bar? Because it is a significant bar for me, because you can see that the spread is relatively big. This bar here, I also highlighted, circle in this golden circle, but you can see that there was rejection formed by this rejection tail, and we have a pretty big volume here. So this is quite an unusual spike of the volume, I would say. So I just put my target just right at the high there. So this is just a second trade, I think, which works out to be pretty good reward to risk, about 1.8R. So these were the two trades that I initiated on last Friday. And just back to current situation, let me just go back to H1. Okay, so on the H1, I think we talk about the test of this last hour bar. Okay, let me just delete this green arrow. This is what I just projected. Okay, so if we look at the H1 time frame, then I think we can also rely on this last hour bar as well. You can see that this last hour bar is also pretty impressive. We have a bullish close with and also close at a high. So this also corresponds to the levels that I pay attention to, which is around 2850. And so I would say that if we have seen some kind of the retracement or pullback back to the support level 2850 to 60, okay, actually I will just extend it to around 2840, which is this last hour bar here. Let me just mark this. So this is the zone that I'm looking for. So if the price, if the S&P 500 does something like this, have a pullback and rebounded from there, then I can probably initiate a long entry to anticipate continuation of the uptrend to test higher targets. Else, because currently I think we have a pretty major movement, or majority of a movement is happened just during the Asian and the London session. Yep, there's the Asian and London session. So we have already have a move from 2850 to 2890. Just currently we are within the resistance zone that I previously mentioned, from 2890 to 2910, which is somewhere around there. So I think we are pretty much very close or within this resistance zone. So if it does have a reversal here, then this is one of the zone or resistance zone that we can pay attention to. If it does get rejected and also just have a reversal signal, then probably we can initiate short entry around this area. And this is the supply zone that coincides with this breakdown bar as well. So let me delete this. If you look closer, that's on the 13th of May, we had a breakdown bar. So this is the bar that I'm actually paying attention. So as long as we are still within this supply zone, the breakdown bar, then I think we are just prone to some kind of the reaction or pullback. It's not uncommon to see that. So this is the area that I'm looking for. So going forward, the bias for me is definitely still up for day trading. And for swing trading, I think if we zoom out further, pretty much we are still stuck within this larger range. You can see that we still stuck within this larger trend here. And I think it still keep bouncing up between 2735 to about 2900. So pretty much within this range on a swing level. So I will still keep my neutral stance for swing trade, because at the moment I think it still has not resolved itself out from this range, and we have a pretty good chance to see it to keep pushing higher to test key levels 2940, 50 and 60. These are just the swing highs form. And for the immediate resistance, definitely is currently where we are right now, 2890 to 29110, 2910. And the immediate support level I'm looking at is definitely 2850 and 2840. So this 2840 to 2860 are the zone that I'm paying attention to. So you can see that we just within these support levels and also the resistance zone, we can have either ways to short or to long, but overall it just depends on how the price unfold at the moment. And as long as it doesn't have a great supply to come in, then I will just assume that it should just keep trending higher to test the higher levels at 2840, 50 and eventually 60. And hopefully maybe you can just have some kind of the breakout to have more upsides. So the potential setup, as I mentioned, that I pay attention to the levels currently that we are in right now, 2890 to 2910. So these are the zones that I pay attention to. So if it does something like this, test, get rejected or even rejected right at the moment from here, then it's probably can consider to initiate a short entry. And if it does the opposite way and to test the support level at 2840 to 2860, which is the last hour bar from Friday as well, then you can probably consider long entry somewhere around there. So yeah, this is pretty much the end of the video, and I hope you enjoy this and find it useful. If you like it, just click like and also hover to my name or picture to follow me, and do subscribe to my channel so that you get instant notification for my future videos. So as usual, if you have any kind of the comments, suggestion or trade ideas you want to share with me, feel free to comment it below. I will definitely reply to you. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you soon. Bye bye.